and we're talking here with Benjamin. Benjamin, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Hey.
Hi, Benjamin.
Hey, so I was originally, and I think I told you this, I'm not sure, I was going to call in to Dave Ramsey at first, and I just couldn't get a hold of the guy. So I'm calling because I'm pretty much a multimillionaire. I spend around $40,000 to $100,000 a month, sometimes more than that, just depending on what I spend and what I'm paying for.
Okay.
So I am in the process of moving a good bit of money to purchase a lake house.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out if it's a good investment. I already have a house that I live at now. I put $280,000 out of pocket into this house, fixed it up, did brand new electrical, all kinds of other crap. And I've got it appraised, and the realtors that I've had come here to my house and meet me here to also help me with the lake house thing. But they tell me, well, I put way too much money into this house because of where it's at, and the houses around me bring down my value of my house.
Wait. Can we stop for a second?
Yeah.
Do you plan on selling that house?
No.
All right, so let's I had this conversation with someone a couple weeks ago about houses. And they were telling me, "Oh, I made a lot of money on this house and this house." I said, "Like a vacation house and a primary residence?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Those aren't investments. You consume those. You consume your primary residence. You consume your vacation home."
And if your objective is to maximize your wealth, you should probably live in a little tiny house with avocado colored appliances from the 60s, like the cheapest thing you could find, and then go buy real estate that you turn into investment property.
That's right.
That's the way to increase your wealth.
Don't replace the popcorn. Don't replace the popcorn ceiling or the shag carpet.
No, ever. From maximizing your wealth. Now you said you spend between $40,000 and $100,000 a month, right?
On average, sometimes more than that.
Right, and that's because you want to do things and you have the financial resources to do those things.
Most of the time, yeah.
Well, what do you mean most of the time?
Well, like, so I don't spend money all the time. It's not really every month that I spend that kind of money. But if I, like, for example, this house that I'm getting on the lake, I really like the house. Plus, it has a separate guest house. So my plan was I was going to pay for this house, and I got to do an inspection and stuff, too, on it. But I was going to pay for this house within the next, I'd say, 2.5 weeks. Because what I'm having to do, I have an inheritance, which some people call it a trust or whatever. And that's where a lot of my money comes from.
And how big is that?
Millions.
Like, is it 10 million, 20 million, 30 million?
I don't know. I've been spending money out of it for over 10 years.
Okay, well, look, this is that scares me.
Right.
You just said there scares me.
So you're spending $40,000 to $100,000 a month. If you've got $40 million,
not a big
whatever.
deal.
If you've got $4 million, major problem.
Big deal.
Yeah.
No, so if you really don't know what the corpus, the principal amount is, and the restrictions on the trust, then we don't have an answer for you.
Well, no, there's not really restrictions on it. I mean, it was designed for ACH. And usually what I do, like, for example, how I pay for fixing up my house, just routing and account numbers. So I would give companies the routing and account number. They would pull the funds out and pay for stuff, and I'd get
Understand that. But what's the principal amount? How much is in the account?
I don't know what the starting balance was. I can.
No, what is it today?
Yeah, what's it today?
Oh, I think around like 30. I want to say about 30-40 million.
Okay. All right.
But like I also have other stuff that I bought throughout the years. I have a website. I lease a nightclub.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's $15,000 a month. I have a lease agreement for a nightclub.
Do you run a nightclub?
Not me specifically. I'm in Alabama. The nightclub's on Staten Island. So.
Is that right?
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what's your
See,
question? It sounds to me like you've got, I mean, you're making it sound like you got unlimited capital, so do whatever you want. Like, what's your question?
Well, so I've had some issues moving money around a few times just because of red tape and crap. I mean, different financial institutions have different rules or whatever.
Yes.
And right now, I'm going through a financial advisor, essentially, meeting with him Wednesday, and I'm moving $1.3 million into a brokerage, which I've did that kind of money plenty of times into different accounts. And I was going to move it into a brokerage, and then I have to wait 7 to 10 days to transfer it from the brokerage into escrow to close on the property. And I was just trying to figure out.
Why don't you just transfer the money directly to the escrow? Why go through those?
Because according to them, I can't.
According to who's them?
Well, I think the closing attorney I talked to, he said that if I tried to move it directly into escrow, it wouldn't work that way. They want like a specific. Plus, I have to get the proof of funds letter. So I'm having to move it. I'm having to move a specific amount.
Okay.
Into
So what's your question for us?
If it would be a good investment or not.
No, of course. Look, it's not an investment. You're consuming it. A vacation home you're consuming it.
When you die, what happens to the principal in this trust? It's $30 to $40 million.
I'm not leaving it to anybody. I mean, the property I own now.
Then what do you care about? Why don't buy the lake property then?
Yes.
Well, that was my plan.
No, go ahead.
But I know with the property I own now, if I die, it just goes on the market. I assume.
I know, but where's the money from the proceeds of the sale go?
Right. You got this massive inheritance from somebody. When you die, where are the dollars going?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, well, that's one thing I would look at. It would either name a charity or a person or whatever. Otherwise, it's.
You mean make a will, basically? Yeah, that's. I mean, I can do that. I'm not planning to die anytime
Okay,
soon.
well, no one does. So
right.
anyway, all right.
If you want the vacation house, buy the vacation house.
Yes, it's
That's
not,
gonna
and
matter.
it's a terrible. It's a terrible investment, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Benjamin. What do you say? Terrible investment? What do you mean?
Because it's not an investment. You're consuming it. It's like saying, my wife and I are going out for dinner tomorrow night. And we're going to a really fancy restaurant. Scott, is that a good investment?
Yes. You're investing in your relationship.
Versus, why can't we go to the taqueria down the street and have a quesadilla?
It's a trade-off. You're using your dollars, saying, I'm taking these assets that I have, and rather than having them invested for my future, I'm going to consume them on something I want today.
Yeah, and rather than consuming less by going to the taqueria and getting a quesadilla, I have decided that we're going to go all in, and I've got a coupon 2 for 1 down at the Steak and Brew. We're going down to the Steak and Brew.
Your whole point is we all make decisions with our assets, but we need to ask ourselves, is this truly an investment for our future, financial future? Or is this something else?
Correct. And vacation homes are not good investments. Unless you're going to convert it to a rental.
Well, or unless you, from a financial standpoint.
You're
better off taking those assets and investing in something else, or just having it rented out full time.
That's right.
But if you're going to own a second residence so you can pop in and out when you want to, obviously that's not. You're taking assets that could be generating income and no longer generating income.
And that's the same way with your primary residence. If you've got a 8,000 square foot house or 5,000 square foot house, you could surely live in. I grew up in a 1,200 square foot house with 6 of us. I mean, that was fine. It was okay. I mean, you learn to fight.
You don't want to go back, my guess.
We fought over the bathroom. It'd be all right.
It truly would be all right. And honestly, like once you've got security of shelter, security of food,
the rest is kind of bonus.
It's